Back again another week with another update on what's been, as of late, the biggest situation in the media, which is Travis Scott's case. So he finally, for those who have been anticipating it or wanting one, he's actually did an interview with Charlamagne the God. Some people confusing it before it being on Breakfast Club. Is actually not on the Breakfast Club. It's Charlamagne's YouTube channel. He did it dolo, and I think he went, from the looks of it, it looks like he went to actually Travis Scott's house, if I'm not mistaken. That's how I interpreted it, at least. That's definitely Travis Scott's house. And yeah, man, let's talk about it. So this actually occurred. We actually have an interview, and it's the fact of the matter that is actually existing that I think is bothering a lot of people without even watching it. Did you watch it yourself, Edwin?
No,
before we start anything, you haven't watched it at all.
No, I haven't yet. No.
Not even the clips that people have been posting, like the little highlights.
No.
Really?
Nah.
Okay. Oh, so it's gonna be interesting. So you're gonna be like a lot of the listeners. 'Cause I know a lot of people who listen and watch the podcast actually get informed on information on a weekly basis because of us. So here are some points from the podcast. Not the podcast, the interview. But we're gonna discuss them on the podcast. Travis Scott said that he did not know people passed away until minutes before the initial press conference. So that was the next morning when the police had the press conference, and Travis Scott is stating in this interview, I didn't know the exact details until minutes before the press conference, and even at that moment, you're like, what? His face was literally like, what? If you watch the interview, he definitely had a what face. Scott said he did not hear anyone in the crowd say help when he was on stage. He was not informed of any reports of trampling or chaos from early that afternoon. So he didn't know, according to him, that people were coming in, breaking in, and like, you know, exceeding capacity from the beginning of the actual festival, supposedly, right? Yeah, that's what he's saying. This is his take from the interview. He feels a sense of responsibility to figure out what happened and to figure out the solution. He kept saying this throughout the interview, which was one of my concerns, because I guess I get it in the fact where it's like he's not trying to claim responsibility and being like, I'm sorry, like, you know, I didn't want this to happen, because then he's going to, like we said in previous episodes, if you guys are not familiar, we discussed this legally, where it's like he's going to take responsibility for your guys' pleasure, but at the end of the day, if he does that, okay, the internet might not be mad no more, but guess what? He might actually go to prison for a very long time, and his pockets are not that deep. They may be deep, but they're not billions of dollars deep, because this is what this case can lead up to being, like billions of dollars deep when it comes to, what, 50,000 plus people being there, and if one person does it successfully, all it takes is one person to sue him and then win, then everyone else is going to be like, oh, shit, let's jump at it. Yeah. We can get money. Hey, whoa. So
open a can of worms.
Yeah, you're going to open a can of worms with that. When asked about the poor planning, understaffing of the event, Travis Scott said that he was involved in the creative side of the festival, nothing else. As an artist, I just do the creative. With that being my festival, I brought artists in. I creatively produced it. We just trust in professionals to make sure that it's taken care of. I can control what I can on stage, and the professionals can handle what happens in the crowd. Okay, Travis. He wants the families of concert goers who passed away to know that he will always be there. That was like, if you think about it, that's what he kept saying when Charlamagne was asking him, why are you here? Why are you doing this here, this interview? And he kind of leaned towards that energy where that was the reason, you know. He's had private conversations with some of the victims' families. Some have come out and said that he hasn't reached out to them yet. So he hasn't reached out to all of them yet. We can confirm that after the interviews come out. We know that now. He explained that he felt his families families rejected he explained how he felt after families rejected some of his money. He said that all things are understandable at a time that they're grieving, and they want to try to understand what's happening. They wanted answers. So I did like that answer. That's probably one of the best answers he did during this interview, where it's like he understands the fact that they're probably going to say no, but they could say yes. Like, he can offer anything he wants to them, but he's just not going to get mad if they say no. And that's the right way to go about it, because it's the family's opinion that matters the most, because their child passed away, their daughter, their son passed away. So it's their rightful and sole choice, I would say. I wouldn't be like, Travis should be like, fuck him. No. It's whatever the fuck they want. Fuck Travis, if anything, but not literally. I mean metaphorically. You know, yeah. if I was them, I could understand where they could be like, oh, fuck Travis. You know, I'm not fuck Travis, but yeah, I'm not the parents either. The rapper insisted that the energy of the festival was not harmful. It was not meant to be harmful. He rages as far as energy. It didn't feel like people showed up to be harmful. People showed up to have a good time. Something unfortunate happened. I think we really just got to figure out what it was. And he kept saying that too. We got to figure out what it was. He wants to figure out legally definitive what was the actual like spark that started the fire, right? And what led to the fire and what was the fire? Because he doesn't want to go to jail, like I keep saying. And then this is the main source of all this. He responded to people accusing him of being satanic and demonic. He said, which had made me chuckle a bit. He was like, I'm a man of God. And he started like looking.
You don't believe him?
My thing is this. I do think that he's a man of God. But these artists tend to play with that concept of, even if they are men of God, they act as if they're not. So they'll have little hindrances of upside down crosses, blood,
yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
blood on this, on that. You survived this. Everything as if it's almost sacrificial. Like they tend to lean towards that a bit. The
aesthetic of the
aesthetic, right? And he does that a lot. He did it with the poster flyer for this event. And he's posted like previous people. I think he deleted it now, but he posted like previous people passed out at his concerts on the floor, like knocked out, almost looking like dead bodies, as if almost encouraging that energy and that atmosphere. So I do believe people grow. In the recent years, I can see him kind of transitioning out of that sort of almost childhood phase, I would call it. Almost like Odd Future.
What do you mean childhood?
Because it seemed very like lack of responsibility, like you just do what the fuck you want. Some people like that, right? Like that's what people loved about the essence of Odd Future when they came out. Like rebellious. Rebellious. But then at the end of the day, years later, they can't be that way because you have to have a sense of responsibility. You have to realize like there's millions of kids watching me, hearing me. Everything I do matters, and it could affect them, and I could trigger them wrong. And aside from that, people change. So you have Tyler now being Grammy nominated, more sophisticated, still doing weird things like he'll do like a random gay freestyle on Funk Flex.
He's matured.
But he's matured. He doesn't play more into like the devil shit, the eating Beatles shit, none of that anymore, right? Yeah. Because you can argue he's a man of God, right? So Travis being a man of God is just up in the air for me. Like I believe it, but it's like I believe it. I guess it's just a bit. I take it with a bit of grain of salt. I know he's definitely a family man. He loves his daughter. He loves his, they were off, now possibly on again, maybe soon to be wife. They never got married, right? From my recollection, they never got married. They were just dating.
I'm not sure, yeah.
But yeah, he's a man of God. Comment down below, what do you guys feel? If you're watching on YouTube, what do you guys feel? Comment down below. Is he a man of God in your opinion? Because I was up in the air. A lot of people were like, whoa.
Well, you never know. Maybe he just never tends to try to show that side of him.
But then also, what does that mean? Maybe it means something else for him than it means for me.
Exactly.
So that could be it as well. And lastly, one of the highlights was Scott said that he would like the victims of the family to know what his true intentions were. It's tough. It's real tough. I want them to really know what my intentions were. They weren't to harm the family. It wasn't for them to come and it was just for them to have a good experience when they came. I've always felt like I had a connection to my fans through the music, and sometimes when they don't understand artists and where we come from, there could be a disconnect. I would love for them to truly know where my heart is from. I didn't come for any harm. It wasn't about a show. It was about them having a good time, and it's tragic the way it turned out. Now, taking it at face value, similar to the Alec Baldwin situation, where you have a potential crime on paper still being a potential crime. In the face of the public, we can argue they both are guilty. Alec and Travis, right? That's how the public kind of seems to be, like, especially Twitter. But no, we don't need that to be, because I'll take it from this. But when it comes to in the face of the public, people are going to feel that way. But legally and actually, factually on paper, they're not, because there hasn't been any actual charges ran through. They're not in jail. There's still, it's still pre-trial, pre-everything. So, I lost my train of thought. There's so much shit with this Travis Scott shit. I lost my train of thought.
You compared it to Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I compared it to Alec Baldwin. Oh, because just in general, should he have done an interview or not? I think we were talking about it literally a week before. We predicted like, yo, should he do one or not?
Yeah.
And I felt the energy as if one was coming. And literally 5 days removed from when I said that out into the world, we have a Travis Scott interview with Charlamagne the fucking God out of nowhere. So I do think it's a better look than the Instagram story, black and white video with a filter. I think it's a better look than his press release, the statement that they released, the sort of like, I guess, paragraph. But I can see both sides where it's like maybe like talk to all the families. I don't know, man. It's hard to say because I'm not in his shoes, so it's hard to say what's the proper way to deal about this. Yeah. All I do know that he's a man. We're not perfect. No one on this earth is perfect, and we need to stop acting like we're fucking perfect. I think a lot of people pretend as if their life is perfect, and they go about their day judging people, commenting, sharing their opinions, and thinking that they are perfect. Thinking that, yo, if I was Travis, I would do this. Yo, if I was Alec Baldwin, I would do this. Yo, if I was that. You're not them, and you're not in their shoes. Exactly. And unfortunately, they have to go through their shoes and go through their shit. But they are rich, right? And they are, I guess, more privileged and more higher stature than us, and they could probably deal with it in a better sense than we could if we were to literally switch shoes right now, right? Because I'm pretty sure I don't got the fucking money to go to court, but Travis does, right? But it's easier said than done. I would say let's let this play out. There's always going to be more feedback coming. Literally, after the interview came out, he was removed from Coachella. Coachella has dropped Travis Scott from the lineup officially. He even tried to do the show for free. He offered them, yo, I'll do it for free. His management, his team reached out like, yo, we don't even want payment. We just do it for free. Like, you know, or maybe they were trying to make that something. Maybe they were going to maybe lean towards that money going to like the Travis Scott, Usherworld family, something. As of now, it's just that they were trying to do it for free. I don't know what the intention was, but they said no. Nope, you're dropped from Coachella. Cacti, the drink that I was driving around all of fucking Providence, Rhode Island to buy and resell when it came out, the seltzer that he dropped, has officially been discontinued. Not just paused or like we paused production. They've discontinued it. That means like the shit is like
trash. I'm just saying.
What else? What else got discontinued before? Like they don't make Mercuries no more. Mercury doesn't exist. Like the cars Mercuries. We had Ford and Mercury, like something that doesn't exist. As if like if it does drop again, it's gonna have to be different, reinvented. That's crazy because I feel like he was so passionate about that shit. Like he went hard with the Cacti promo, and like it was very successful. Remind me of the Nelk Boys. Afterwards, they followed up with their own seltzer, the Happy Dad, which has now been successful as well. And then when you go into this alcohol lane, some people judge it as well. Like they have their opinions about this because it's like he has young fans. So it's like he's selling alcohol to young fans. And it's almost like not beer. It's almost a water, but it's an alcohol water. Whoa. But
whoa.
I don't think he's saying kids drink it up. You know, whoever drinks it, drinks it. Now, some kids might drink it because they want to be Travis Scott.
Bro, you know you didn't.
That's on them.
Did you like the drink? You know you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. But that drink is meant, to be honest, more to like a mix. It's like a mixed drink. It's a seltzer. It's not really to just drink straight up and shit. Unless, you know, you're a frat boy and you got a six-pack and your dick is big, I guess, in your mind, because it's actually fucking small because you have an ego and you're drinking Cacti on a fucking Monday. Calm down. But I don't know, man. It got discontinued. So that's millions of dollars of potential income.
Frat boy.
That could have came that he said, fuck it. I don't need the money, I guess. Or maybe the team involved with the Cacti distribution was like, we can't do it. That is weird, man. That's one of the biggest things that I think that's happened from this. And like I stated earlier, deceased fans, their parents have been mad and coming up and speaking about everything that's been happening. So that's literally three major things that happened after the interview. The families coming out, Cacti discontinued, and now Coachella, he's no longer there. I'm assuming he probably was one of the most headlines, like one of them amongst the headlines as well, or headliners of that event. So now they lost their headliner. But I guess they wanted to lose him. So it really is a bonus for them, or what's going on? Someone's going to be replaced. Yeah. It's crazy, man. And my thing is also, did that happen because of the interview? I feel like because of the interview, that's why it kind of happened. But prior to the interview, none of this happened. None of this was hinted at being happening. And now we have definitive things happening after the interview. So you can also lean towards he should have had done the interview because now you have this shit happening, right? But like I stated earlier, let's let the shit play out. I don't want to fucking put my fucking foot on this man's chest. I want to keep him like going, like in a sense where it's like I want to keep the story going. I want everything to play out more. But I do want people to realize, like, at the end of the day, yeah, it's Travis Scott. But I do say fuck him in general. Like, I think the most important part of this is that lives were lost, and we need this not to happen. Whether it's Travis Scott, any other festival, any other event, this can no longer happen anymore. Like this is that's the main like precipice from this is like, yo, life and death. Death is never the option. Death is never the way that we should be promoting this, encouraging none of this.
Yeah, let's try to prevent it from
Let's try to prevent this shit from happening, man.
They gon' love me for my ambition.